Hi, hello, and welcome to a little we haven't seen you guys in a while. That's not a great title for this episode. It's very confusing. It's a convoluted thing. But anyways, we haven't talked to you guys in a while, and there's some Bachelor news that we got to get to. Of course, I'm Dylan, saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat, producer of the podcast over there behind my glasses.
Hey, how are you? I don't want to be here. I just want to say that because these are the freebie people out there. They not paying us.
Oh, yeah. Do that. Start with contempt for the audience.
Well, I don't want to go too far. I want them to like me.
All right. So let's do something really quickly. Nick, his dog Chewy, who is a little Yorkshire Terrier who has bounced from home to home. I mean, he's pretty much finished at this point. Nick is doing, it's kind of a hospice thing that he's doing with him. It's
it's his forever home.
Very adorable.
I want to try something.
He is just causing such a racket in this fucking studio right now. It's because he's ill-trained, because he runs the show. And Nick doesn't know that dogs are for people. Dogs are happiest when they're pleasing people. He's not happy because he runs the show. He's not biologically or evolutionarily ready to be in this position that you've put him in because of your weakness. But we have to talk about the fucking Bachelor.
Lots of Bachelor news. Chewy.
That is real. I don't like that. It's not even funny content.
Chewy.
way too.
Chewy, come here.
All knowing.
Chewy, come here. I'm gonna give
Chewy, come here. What does he want? No.
Give him some banana pudding, guys.
Do not give him that.
We have.
You can't have that.
No, he can't have a fucking vanilla wafer soaked in banana pudding, guys. We have to talk about The Bachelor.
Yes.
There's been a lot of stuff going on in this world, and we got to talk about it. But first, Pat has contempt for you because you are not yet converted to the paywall. There is unbelievable stuff going on behind that. Another podcast show, we gab, goof, and chat about whatever. PMZ. It's Pat's Gossipy Bitch podcast, where he hits the rags and tells us lots of fun stuff about gossip and stuff like that.
It is, to be honest, to be fair, so much more than that.
So much more than that.
Yeah. I talked about a close family member admitted to me on a family trip that he killed 2 people.
Exactly. Also, if you're a Below Deck fan, there's stuff there. We're going to be covering Love is Blind. So get ready for that. Patreon.com/another podcast network. But let's get to the subject material matter at hand. That is, Colton is a gay man. He came out in an interview this morning on Good Morning America with Robin Withers. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I did that voice, because it could be perceived as racist.
I don't think so.
She also doesn't talk like that. So he came out in a very breathy, very nervous, very freeing moment. Robin said that she could immediately feel the aura of positivity change in him, and that
he's not going to put trackers on people's car anymore and stalk them.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a different person.
Yeah, we're so happy for him. I don't know that we have a ton of thoughts on this.
Oh, I do.
Because it doesn't fucking matter, right? Many of you have been commenting, be it on the Facebooks, Another Bachelor podcast, go find the baby birds over there, or our Instagram at Another Bachelor podcast. I don't mean for the show to just be a plug fest, but we haven't seen you guys in a while, remember? People have said you guys called it the whole time. You know, you guys said that we always refer to him as ABC's The Bachelorette and a possibly closeted gay man. Now, the fact that we knew that he was a closeted gay man doesn't matter. I mean, you take one look at his dad, who's very, very masculine, looks like a porn star, and you kind of look at Colton and the way that he interacts with women, and you're just like, hey, that guy's like a gay guy.
He's not into girls.
Yeah, I think he's a gay guy.
Yeah, and I hate that I have to say this. That's okay.
He
doesn't need to be.
It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit.
Except when I think Nikki pointed out when someone this morning on Instagram commented that we are homophobic by pointing this out.
Yes.
And
we
Nick,
are violently.
Nick, what did you respond to her? You basically told her, why are we homophobic? What did you say? It was very eloquent.
Someone defended it and said there was more context to it. She said, what context is this okay? I don't care if one or all of them are homosexual themselves. There's no place for this.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I said, "What?" I'm only remembering the second part.
The bit is that It's not a problem. He's just on a franchise where he's trying to find love in a female counterpart.
In 3 different iterations.
3 different iterations.
Yes, so we can make fun of it, especially when we now get to sit on our perch and proclaim how proud we are that we were the first to point this out 3 years ago.
And I also let her know that none of us are actually homosexuals, but for $50,000 a month, we will possibly fuck each other.
We will fuck each other
on the Flight of the Phoenix
tier.
Patreon tier.
Did she reply to that?
No, but it's sitting at like 7 likes.
So listen, you have to
including
remember,
the Sulk, who I didn't tag because I didn't want to get him canceled.
No, yeah, we don't want the Sulk canceled. You have to remember that this kind of run that Colton's had on the show is like something out of a Christopher Guest movie. So it is funny. It is funny. And we are very happy for him. But there is news that he, because of his new fun gay fame, he will be granted a show on Netflix. Maybe him trying to find love with the sex that he's actually attracted to. But my thing is, who gives a shit?
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Who gives a shit about Colton? And why are we giving him a new show because he came out? Remember, he's, I believe, legally a criminal. I believe legally. Right?
I think that case got settled.
And there's so many members of the LGBTQIA community that didn't put a tracker on someone's car, and their stories could be told by Netflix. But of course, it's another privileged white man.
And I don't want to toot my own horn and say we're Nostradamus or anywhere at that level. And maybe some people might watch the same content we've been watching and say, all this stuff that you guys say is so obvious. But boy, do we have a great track record. When we saw that Nick Viall character and he picked Vanessa, we were taking bets on how long it was last. I think we nailed it. What was it, 7 months?
We've nailed pretty much every single relationship. Who's going to win? It is very obvious, but we're the ones with the mics and you guys are the ones that listen to us. But Nick, Nostradamus Davis over here, was so specific with his prediction that you really can't dispute the clairvoyance-y of this man from La Crosse, Wisconsin. He said this guy's going to be in a Halo Top commercial being a depressive in 2.5 years, and we said, what's Halo Top? And he said it's a low-calorie ice cream that's going to come out in 6 months.
James Bashara, huge investor in Halo Top.
So just to kind of button this, wrong word, Billy Eichner tweeted, here's how Hollywood works. Colton's going to get a GLAAD award before I do. And that's just kind of what this is. It's all a little silly. Everything that comes from The Bachelor is meaningless and regressive. It's all bad.
Another thing of note that took place in the last week or so in Bachelor Nation that I think the audience might find interesting.
Water's wet?
Huh?
Water's wet?
Oh, right. Matt, our Bachelor.
Yeah, the worst Bachelor in the history of the franchise.
All right.
Say that.
Probably not.
Reality Steve, who I am not a fan of because he gives spoils too much.
Yeah.
He got a little scup on Matt over there.
Oh, that's
this past week. Are you guys familiar with this?
Well,
yes.
Yeah, it seems like when Emmanuel Acho asked him if you don't forgive her for this, people could assume that you never really loved her, and he said, you know what else happened a long time ago? I know she took those pictures a long time ago, but plantations happened a long time ago too, Emmanuel.
Oh, and then I'll be Matt, be Acho, and say, could you ever see yourself with Rachel again?
Could you ever see yourself with Rachel?
No.
Okay. Curtain.
Yeah. And then the cameras turn off.
Right.
And then Matt goes about his life.
Right.
All right. So here's the scoop. Reality Steve had a girl named Grace on who was dating Matt before he went on The Bachelor.
Sure.
She kind of put it in the tone that it wasn't like boyfriend and girlfriend, that they were hooking up and it was working its way there. But then he was the chosen one.
Yeah. And he's a Christian, so nothing crazy happened.
Oh,
like,
sure.
He didn't fuck her in the ass.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry.
So anyway, he leaves to go do the show.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he's done, he calls Grace back up. They start talking. She's down in Florida where he's living with that Tyler.
He said, hey, do you have any problematic photos from your past? You don't. Want to get lunch?
All right. So Grace and Matt rekindle their little fire there and things are going pretty good. You know, she saw him on the show. I guess he just went there to be on the show. Sure. He admitted some of this to her. By the way, what a horrible Bachelor. Hey, Disney, I know I said this enough on our show and I shit all over you guys.
Yeah.
you put a little bit more thought into it. This guy sucked.
If you want to explore race via a minority cast member, cast an intelligent human being. Don't cast a dumbass who's not going to contribute to this conversation in a productive manner, because he is a pawn.
And also, he's also a womanizer too, and he's kind of a player. You got to shake that out of his skin if you want America to watch a man in his pursuit of love. Anyway,
if Emmanuel Acho was the Bachelor and we wanted to do this, then it wouldn't be fun television, but it would be a little bit more productive and substantial.
I'd buy into the sincerity of the trying to fall in love.
Right.
Anyway, so the Grace is on Reality Steve, and she gives the scoop to Reality Steve. Matt's a liar. Matt's a womanizer. Matt has been communicating with Rachel days after the cameras turned off, in which he had told Acho and America he was done with Plantation Rachel. Okay. Yeah. He couldn't see himself getting past this. So I guess we have some receipts here, some screenshots of texts. He had been courting Rachel, telling her he loved her. He wanted her back. And
after he refused to touch her because of her bigotry on live television.
Yes. So it takes her a little while. I guess doing the math here, we're probably thinking like, I don't know, when was that reunion or finale?
A couple months ago. Yeah.
Okay. So about 2 weeks after that, as he's courting her, he flies her out to New York. He tells her, I don't care who sees us. They have this kind of crazy week where they're kind of falling back in love and what have you.
Colossal piece of shit this guy is.
All right. She flies back. And he didn't tell her anything about Grace, what he's got going on with Grace.
Sure.
So I guess Grace confronts Matt, calls him a liar, a player, what have you. And I think that's just basically the gist of it. But I think you can glean a lot out of it, which is Matt is kind of a dishonest soul.
He's a disingenuous piece of shit.
That's what I meant to say.
Went on the show to get famous and does not care that Rachel was taking pictures at a plantation. If she texted him a picture, topless, playing with her vagina the next day, he would have said, hey.
On a plantation.
I do forgive you. I fly you out to Brooklyn. We'll go to Lucali's, grab a light slice of pizza, and we'll go fuck each other's brains out. I do love you. What a garbage man. Also, what he did to his dad, too, he was the Chris Hansen of bad dads.
He's becoming his dad. He's becoming his dad.
All right.
Hey, I want to say this to the audience. I'm going to need a lot of cajoling to come back to this feed for, who's it, Katie? Vibrator Katie?
Yeah.
I may miss you guys by then. I think we got a couple months I need a break away from everybody.
Yeah, who knows? We'll be back, I think. But you know, we've said it so many times. ABC, miss us with the bullshit, and we'll be happy to just make hot pod for all of your beautiful ears. But we won't be back for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding. Big announcement. You'll see us next week. We had done a thing with Juan Pablo's season where we broke down the entirety of That Bigot's La Ventura behind a paywall. Now, because it's it's the off season, a little bit of a dark time in The Bachelor. Dark is just not the right word to use in this context right now. Sorry. Chewy. Jesus. We're going to be releasing week by week our Chewy recap of, like I said, That Bigot's La Ventura.
This is where Claire makes my skin crawl. He made her TV debut on that season.
This is where she climbed to the top of the charts, having sucked him off in the ocean on the 4th episode in Vietnam.
And then he spent the next couple episodes disparaging her and ultimately
calling
leaving her at the
whore.
altar.
Yeah. He's a disgusting piece of shit too.
It's some of our best work. And this is, when you hear this is what you would have gotten had you paid for this, you fucking cheapos, 8 months ago. But Nick and Dylan talked me into this, but I did it. I made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be forced to hear me beat you over the heads how cheap you are. And we're not going to just put it as the topper of every single one of these episodes, at least. I've instructed Nikki and Dylan to put it in there intermittently throughout various times throughout the episode, just so you don't know what's coming. You're like, I've escaped this. He's not going to tell me what a cheapo is and how I'm ripping him off.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes in, just as you're laughing your balls off on this free content, my voice will be there reminding you just that.
And we probably won't do that just because it's such a tough edit. And Pat is joking about instructing us to do so, but he's not joking about the fact that he's technologically retarded, which is why he cannot do it himself. He doesn't know how to work Microsoft Word. But we will be back with Juan Pablo content. And guys, if you think we're offensive here, buckle up, because this is Patreon Dill, Nikki, and Pat. So it's a little bit more racy.
When that girl today in the comment section called us homophobic, She also said, "You're mean." And I wanted to correct her. Yeah, that's what we are. We're mean.
Well, you wouldn't be correcting her. You would just be agreeing.
It was interesting. She was definitely a listener, not just someone who just saw that clip. She was familiar with our work.
Interesting. All right. Well, guys, we miss you very much. We'll see you back on this feed next week. Remember, I know it's the off season, but if you feel like dropping a review, please do so. 5 stars or 1. Wear a name tag and leave kind or nice words. Also, if you want to feel guilt-free when you hear Pat's berating of you, go to patreon.com/another podcast network. A lot of fun stuff there. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye.